8:30 a.m. Thursday, February 20. You want to go outside, T-Rex? Can you jump up and down? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And go out the door. Oh boy. It's a different environment. Everyone notice what's missing? Yep. The TK, custom made birch tree flagpole had to come down in the name of progress. They tore down paradise, put up a parking lot. I forgot to grab my gloves. Hang on, people. I gotta go grab my gloves. It's 19 degrees again this morning. And I'd say we're pretty close to the pinnacle of winter. Today, tomorrow, into Saturday, I think this is going to be the coldest stretch of weather until next winter that we're in right now. That's going to end about Saturday or so for most of the nation, really. I mean, you can't get much more extreme than what's going on right now. I'm going to go out to the edge here, check it out. So you get the heavy equipment, and I think the heavy equipment is one of the reasons that Steve doesn't want to go out to the edge. I don't think he likes the heavy equipment, the noises. So we'll leave Steve right here. Advisories, watches, and warnings this morning. The dark blue is the extreme cold, and you have a blizzard warning there in Glacier Park, Montana for 2 inches of snow, but wind of 65 miles an hour on the backside of the extreme cold. And it's pretty interesting. Time out. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting that the extreme cold criteria, they all say danger, extreme cold. But in, say, North Dakota, they say danger, extreme cold, wind chill of 43 below zero. And then in Corpus Christi, Texas, they say danger, wind chill of up to 11 degrees, or down to 11 degrees, above zero. Birds, kind of going nutty over here. So yeah, the flagpole's gone, the bird feeder's there. More on that in a little while. The storm cloud is over New England, but the storm is way out to sea. So there's the northwest edge of the storm cloud, right over about Braintree or so. Actually, that could be closer to Stoughton or something. The steam going straight up with an inversion this morning. Now look at the temperature map, talking about inversions. This morning is 18 degrees below zero in Whitefield, New Hampshire. Way up in one of the coldest spots, usually in northern Maine, it's 14 degrees above zero, Estcourt Station, Maine. And around Boston, it's, I don't know, about 21 or so. And the red numbers are wind gusts. There's no wind. Yay. And how about the summit of Mount Washington? The summit of Mount Washington is +7 with a wind of 8 miles an hour. Woohoo! But that means it's 25 degrees warmer on top of the mountain than it is down in the valley. That's an inversion. And I often say we have high barometer cold, but it's really not a high barometer. It's a low barometer, relatively speaking. It was just a good night for radiating the heat to space with mostly calm conditions. And as you probably noticed here, we've got just about as much ice on this salty four-river body of water as we've had pretty much all winter. Every time we get a stretch like this, it gets warm and the ice goes away. And you don't usually get new ice forming this time of year. And even my brother, Ed Kelly, down there by Sundancers, looked at Bass River last evening, and look at Bass River was pretty much icy. So there's a lot of ice around. Oh yeah, the Boston Globe did a story this morning on all the people getting hurt, falling on ice in the streets of Boston. I'm sorry, but there's almost no excuse for that. I mean, outside my business or my house, I've got dry walkway from the road to my house right now. Now, I didn't get all the sidewalks done, but there is safe passage through our properties. You know, we had to use a lot of effort, ice melt and such, to get that that ice that's on the shore over there. That's not snow. That's all ice on the shoreline right there. So yeah, the pinnacle of winter is here. So that storm, here's the satellite imagery, that storm at sea that we've been talking about for so long is pretty much a complete miss. However, we are going to end up with snow regardless because of what's happening to the west. An upper level low is coming at us. So what a tease this has been. This is about the 4th Thursday in a row, I think, where there has been a storm or a storm threat. And there certainly was a storm. Peter Forrester, he seems to be everywhere, but I guess his headquarters is in Virginia. And he went for a little stroll last night near Virginia Beach. And the snow is coming straight down. He says, well, we got 8 inches and it's still going. Then this morning, Peter got up and says, we've got a foot of snow at Virginia Beach. He says, this is top 5 snow since records began in the 1800s. And then he went for a walk on the beach this morning, and it was hardly gentle. Looked like the Arctic tundra there on Virginia Beach. And this morning, Jim Cantori, I think, is also there, and he got similar videos. But Jim gets plenty of press time. I shared the wealth with Peter Forrester. And there are the snowfall amounts all clustered there in eastern Virginia between 8 and 13 inches of snow. But even on the Outer Banks, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, got a 4-inch snow again. What did they get back there in that January storm? They get at least 4. So that puts Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Outer Banks of North Carolina have had more snow this season than Cape Cod and the islands. What about snow for Cape Cod and the islands tonight? Yeah, I think there'll be snow in the air. There's a lot going on. The storm is mostly a miss, but the upper level low coming in on its backside is going to try and reach out and grab some of the snow. So here's the NAM 3K high resolution, and the upper level low is evident with the snow that's over Pennsylvania and New York. The storm there is missing, but then all of a sudden tonight around, I don't know, 9 or 10, even earlier, all of a sudden it's trying to snow on Cape Cod and the islands. The other snow consolidates, and Cape Cod snows for 2 or 3 hours, Nantucket for 4 or 5 hours. So there should be at least 1 or 2 centimeters. How many centimeters in an inch? 2.54. So if we get 2.54 centimeters, I think that's reasonable. That's an inch of snow. And then that's gone. All right, back to this. They got a system. They're all ready. Big pile of that mud down in the parking lot of Wisconsin. Look at it. And meanwhile, that huge jaw there, it's getting greased. It's on a swivel. It goes up and down. What's that? 60-foot arm. This stuff is just amazing. So the storm is mostly a miss, and we're going to go into a more quiet pattern for sure. But the cold is releasing across the western United States. This morning, did I show the record lows yet? From, again, the Canadian border right down to Texas into northern Mexico, record cold this morning. So it's about the 4th morning in a row with this extreme cold outbreak. Instead of 40 below, though, it's more like 25 to 35 below, though, in those northern plains. And that cold high pressure system is going to end up going off to our south this weekend. And when that happens, generally, high pressure to our south allows us to warm up fairly quickly. So I'm walking over here to the forsythia. These forsythia bushes are going to come out. And those buds are all ready to bloom. I talked about that. You can put them in the house, even though I haven't done it. Do as I say, not as I do. So the crew from the excavation company came to the yard yesterday, and they tried to shovel the yard. They tried to shovel right here. You can't shovel this. They got to shovel it so they can put down the footings to operate the equipment. This is pure ice. It's so dangerous. I mean, you'd need one of those blowers that they used at Daytona with the heaters, something like that. And then what would you do with the rest of the water? So I don't know what the plan is, but flagpole's down. I'm prepped as much as I can prep. So let's go to all the models are messed up. The GFS, the Canadian, the Euro, they're all different going forward. Similar themes, but different tracks. And even though I don't really like it, I'm going to use the Euro. Here's the Boston Meteogram from weather.us. You can use any model you want, and I chose the Euro. And you see the temperature staying down. Today, not too much wind, a lot of clouds. Tomorrow, the sun comes back, it's more windy. Similar temperature still in the 20s. And then Saturday, I think these numbers are too low. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think we're going to warm up. We're going to have melting of the ice here this weekend with a westerly wind. The temperature will be cold at night, but I think that Monday morning, what's that say? About 15 on Monday morning? I don't think so. I think it's going to be closer to 30 by Monday morning. And then it does show some rain or mixed precipitation on and off next week. No big storm. Well, maybe Thursday, Friday. Of course, it's a Thursday, Friday next week. All right, so that's the meteogram. Let's go to the H's and L's and the blue lines and the red lines and the isobars. Put those into motion using the pivotal weather Euro model. There goes our storm. It's still expected to be bombogenesis, but it's moving so far out to sea. We're just going to get the wind with that advancing old cold high modifying off to our south on Saturday. You see some snow near the Canadian border. So that's the retreat of the cold with a warm front north. And the high goes to our south, and that causes the wind from the west. But notice there's a boundary coming into southeastern Canada, and then a little bit more snow on Sunday, especially in far northern New England. And then there's a high pressure system to our north on Monday and Tuesday. That's almost like a backdoor front, kind of. And that's going to bring in some cold into eastern New England. Not as cold as that meteogram showed, I don't think. But that high is going to go offshore, maybe with some rain or snow showers mixed around here Tuesday into Wednesday. And then now we have low pressure to our north on Wednesday. And what looked like a rapidly advancing Arctic front now is really slowed down. So now Wednesday night and Thursday, you get this low coming across and somehow jogging from the Great Lakes to southern New England on Thursday with a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow. Much flatter looking flow than we had yesterday. But note there is an upper level trough, those blue lines that dig down on the east side of the Appalachians on next Thursday, Friday. So something may try and run the coast. And then you get out to Saturday, Sunday, March 1st. There's something coming across. Looks like a clipper, but it's on an Arctic boundary across the Great Lakes into New England. So that's now getting into the first days of March. So March may come in like a lion. But like I said, the pinnacle of weather, the peak of weather for this long winter that we've had is right now. And then when we turn into March, then you may get more winter storms, but between the winter storms, you warm it up a lot. But you know, remember 1993, there was a superstorm in March that made history. So things can happen. And there's plenty of cold in Canada. So there's the weather. Obviously, kind of low confidence. I think I am going to Cape Cod and the islands tonight to verify how much of a bust I made on that forecast from a week ago. We all made. Most of us do it every day. And some people just say, oh no, the pattern's not right. Leonard, you're right. Pattern wasn't right. Although there's bombogenesis out there. Third bombogenesis in a week. And that first bombogenesis off Newfoundland. Did you hear about that container ship that went ashore on the coast of Newfoundland, Labrador? Eddie Shear, meteorologist up there, got a picture of it in a much calmer, sunrise today of the MSC Baltic container ship that ran aground in that first bomb cyclone more than a week ago. The second one was our big storm that we had with a 160 mile an hour wind back on Monday on Mount Washington. And this is also a bomb cyclone, but this one's going to race more east and not have too much impact on land, although southeastern Canada is also getting clipped by that. So 3 bomb cyclones in a week, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And there, but for the grace of God, go we here in southeastern Massachusetts, missing any blizzards the size of that plane. Oh, Ross Budd, gotta get a Ross Budd fix. Flew over the Statue of Liberty this morning. Thank you, Ross. I was supposed to go to Florida, but I ended up in New York City. This is the life of the jet setter. And Carl and Danny and Tracy and Rachel are all skiing at Stowe. And they're saying, there's plenty of snow. I mean, it's practically 93 inches deep at the top. But the wind really made an impact on the snow in New England, and it's hard. There's wind slab being reported in the exposed areas, so you're really going to search into the woods for where it didn't get too windy, for the soft snow. And I share this image too of Mount Washington. Look at that. The avalanche danger is down. It looks like freshies, right? But that's hard snow. You got to climb it with crampons. But there'll be a long season at Tuckerman and skiing Mount Washington this spring, that's for sure. Meteorological spring begins on March 1st. So I made some time lapse yesterday of that ice that was across the way in the Broads moving out in that direction. That's one of my time lapse. And I also made a time lapse of taking down the flagpole. It was kind of sad, and the lights off the tree, and repositioning the bird feeder. So I took the top pin out, and it was so frustrating, it took so long, that I just got out the chainsaw at the end, and the bottom of the flagpole is still right there. It's just going to be a shorter flagpole. I got to put it up somewhere because we got to monitor the wind. And Steve was out here kind of keeping me company. You'll see him in the time lapse also. All right, here's the end more from yesterday. Thanks for watching. Great audience, long videos. It's like a TV show all about nature and weather, and cats and dogs and a weatherman and ice and prints in the snow. Talk to you tomorrow. 9 a.m., 22 degrees, Wednesday, February 19th. So much going on right now. I've got sensory overload. All the different weather, machines in the yard practically, the Slurpee waves down there in the lower right, and this ice that's being pulled out with the tide and the wind that formed last night. So I'm gonna make a time lapse. I'm kind of trying to get all of that right in there with the ice coming out of Quincy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Can't even capture it all. So much going on. Dueling excavators. So most of the ice has blown out. Just kind of turns back into water, gets mixed out. Accumulates though in the corner though. Oh, there's a robin in the snow. Hello, robin. I did put seed in the feeder for you on this final day of the feeder. Got my tools warming up in the sun to take the flagpole apart and take those lights off. Alright, not sure what's going to happen next, but here it is. We have a flyby. Swans. Doesn't happen that often. Cool. Got rocks. The Luciano team has a drone presence on social media. I think mostly Instagram, where I'm trying to get back into. Figure it out. I don't know what the drone just went by. They're doing aerial footage. Their rocket place. Show it who's boss. Yeah, it's there for the rest of our life. Oh, we got a barge incoming. Jan's gonna put me in a cage. T-Rex, hey out there. Feels like a heat wave with the temperature up to 30 degrees. It's nice. Rex, stop. Back up on the hill. Finally, the wind is decreasing. So these are interesting tracks over here. I know they're a little old, but there's some fresh right here. And it looks like they went under the snow, right? And then emerge or submerge again over here near the base of the tree. And then it goes up a tree, so it's got to be a squirrel, right? Hello, squirrel? Huh? Acorns down there? Anybody in there? Hey, the flag has been resecured. Above that, we've got these mare's tails, cirrus clouds. That's the warmer air trying to run over the top of the colder air from the south. And then in northern New England, we have warmer air coming down from the north. At Mount Washington at noontime today, the wind was down to 10 miles an hour, and the temperature at 4,300 feet was up to 23 degrees. Even though at the same time, at Jay Peak Resort, I looked at the webcam, and it was blowing up there on top above Jet. So really interesting weather coming at New England from the south, from the north, from the west. Maybe we'll get a sundog. No reports of any of that optical phenomena from Weir. There's anthropogenic cloud. Conditional instability, that's called the loft. Those clouds are moving. Oh, and you can make out a little bit of a optical phenomena right there. So I'm getting the optical phenomena right there, sorry. Very nice. Yeah, what's that? You found a little hole. Yep. Circle around. Take care of business. No, we won't look. Rex, I'm gonna help you. We're gonna go down together. I couldn't bear watching you fall through that snow anymore. Growled when I picked him up. It's like, I wanna walk. I don't wanna walk you. Steve took my tool chair. So we're gonna take the flag down. Make a combination time lapse of the sky and the flag coming down. And here are the tools that I'm gonna use. It's just a couple pair of pliers, a long screwdriver, and the same S-wing hammer that I used when I was a sheetrocker back in the early 80s. Yep, I've had this thing 40 years. So, just gonna take those pins out, drop it down. Pretty simple. It's probably frozen, but yeah. If I fall over the cliff, tell everyone I love them. Bye. Yeah, kind of sad. I was not in service, so I'm sure there's a more formal way of doing this. How are the clouds looking? What's that, maybe 14 inches, half inch. You can see drilling the holes through the whole thing. That was really hard. Getting it out wasn't too easy either. Got the top pin out, bottom pin. Should I save it for morning? Why do tomorrow? But you can probably do the next day. I'll do it today. Guy would fall over the cliff. It's okay. Okay. May not be a Birch flagpole anymore, but make good firewood. I don't know how else where to repurpose it. There was a weather stick right there. I got more of those. How about the sky? It's just a little shorter now, but it would work again. Thanks for watching. Bird feeder holder. Relocate that. Why don't we just let it roll in the rest of the sunset? Which is now in the backyard again. Woohoo! Haven't seen the sunset in the backyard since just before Halloween. Ball up the lights and leave that part at the end. It makes it a little easier to put them on next year. If there is a next year. Wow, we interrupt the sunset for a moment to change angles and check out this incredible optical phenomena that we thought may happen. There's the sun. There's the optical phenomena. Sort of like a sundog, but massive. All right, let's get the rest of the sunset. Can I get both of those things in there? Sorry, tripod's moving on me. 5:22, and it's gone. Well, over the horizon. It'll be back, right? And well to the north of the Four River Bridge. Glare ice in the yard. There's the Four River Bridge. Twin River technology emissions. Mostly H2O. Gorgeous, less frigid sunset, even though the air is still coming from the north, actually northwest right now. Got some contrails up there. Almost looks like a snow cirrus. So, backyard's changing. And what to do with the flagpole? Not having a flag, it's going to be disturbing. Gotta think of something to do. A little quiver over here. A couple of different birch trees to work with. So we'll come up with something. Meantime, how about a time lapse of the entire day? From both Cape Cod, over Fallons Pond, or if it weren't so windy, we'd probably get some more ice to form. South Dennis today. Is it snowing down there this morning? I mean, actually, tomorrow morning. We've been talking about this for so long. Do they wave to each other? Ross, do you guys wave to each other when you go by like that? And one from Weymouth. Flag was fine for the last time in that position until we get a suitable relocation. Till tomorrow. You wave to each other?